a time when massive bank frauds involving names such as Nirav Modi and Vijay Mallya are in the limelight, the Supreme Court of India has observed that Aadhar cannot stop bank frauds. The apex court disagreed with the Indian government's claim that Aadhar, or the unique identification code, is a panacea for all ills in the system, including bank frauds. The bench said, and here I quote them, "The bank knows whom it is giving loan to, and it is the bank officials who are hand in glove with the fraudster. Aadhar can do little to stop it." End quote. The top court's observations are significant as it wraps the government, which is already taking hit for the recent spate of multi-crore financial frauds plaguing the banking sector. And joining us, there is a person whom for us cover all legal issues, our reporter and correspondent Jessica Taneja. Jessica, good evening. Thank you for joining me on the broadcast tonight. So, this is the court taking an independent stance and saying Aadhar is not enough to avoid bank frauds. The problem lies elsewhere. Is this a conflict between the judiciary and the government, or is this a normal procedure for the Indian courts to have such an independent stance?
Well, the courts usually have an independent stand, Alien. It has to be the latter, because when the apex court is hearing a crucial matter like the Aadhar case, it's a special constitution bench. It's not a usual court case. So it's been going on. It's been happening since 21 days. The matter hasn't really touched a corner, but today it did when certain observations came from the Supreme Court, where the Aadhar Act, or the AG was submitting in sort of a in accordance to what the Aadhar Act and in accordance to what Aadhar can achieve. The apex court did say that, Aadhar can, of course, not protect individuals, or it's not there to protect or shield individuals who are, in fact, possible, fraudsters. But let's understand on where this came from, because the AG had asserted that Aadhar will completely be a net, which will sort of a safety net that will prove to be protecting the citizens against any fraudulent activities. Now, how far is that true? That is something we really don't know. And what made the AG made such submissions is what we find out soon.
And Jessica, before we lose track, since there has been much back and forward on the Aadhar case, before we lose track, where are we at, legally speaking? What is happening to Aadhar? What lays ahead on the process of implementing it, if at all it will be implemented and made mandatory?
Glad you asked that, Daniele, because the Aadhar case, as crucial as it is, often misses out on the focus that it should be given in today's day and age. Now, the court, the top court of the country, is in fact deciding on whether we need an Aadhar or whether we need to do away with an Aadhar system or the unique identification system. And till now, 21 days have gone by, or 22 if I may just correct that. 22 days have gone by, and the Aadhar case has been going on in the Supreme Court. A special bench is hearing that matter. We've already heard the petitioner say that this particular act cannot survive. It's an electronic leash around its citizens. It can track and keep their data without proper mechanisms and privacy, shells in place. But then now that the government is arguing, the centre is coming out with strong arguments saying that it is the only need. And with a population like ours, we need to have an independent body or a government-affiliated body which can protect citizens' data and will ensure that there are no particularly fraudulent activities taking place when it comes to your schemes or even your bank accounts or your income tax returns. So this case crucially is going on, and soon to be finished in another few days if the legal course goes that way.